Somebody gave their kid to CPS because they thought the rapture is happening tomorrow.
I gave my house away. I gave away my savings. I gave away everything because the rapture was supposed to happen.
Donut Mom, aka Alex, deleted this video of a roach crawling behind her, and we have got to talk about it. Now, last week we talked about how there was animal droppings all over the house, which has accumulated a lot of flies. There were also maggots on her clean dishes in her strainer.
I get dragged every single day on TikTok and Facebook. I'm not scared of y'all. I'm not scared of nobody. I know the type of mother that I am, and I'm a damn good mother.
As you can read in the caption above, we're a family of 6 going on 7 living in a 1-bedroom apartment. Why have so many kids if you don't have enough space for them? See, my perception is judgment comes from a place of not having the experience. When you've experienced enough, you generally don't judge people.
CPS has now shown up to the resilient Jenkins motel room doorstep.
Lord of mercy. They letting anybody get famous these days. Hey y'all, it's Maria Liana and welcome to my YouTube channel where we talk about pop culture, trending topics, and social media scandals. If I feel like it, if I'm feeling scandalous. It is very early in the morning, y'all. That is why my room is extra bright. The sun just rose. It's arisen and my whole room is white and it's filled with sunlight and it's a vibe. Like, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful morning. But the lighting is just not lighting today. I can't get it to work. I don't know why it's so bright right here. Please just bear with me if you're watching this. I know there's probably a way to fix it with camera settings, but I'm not smart enough to know how to do that. I'm technology challenged. Today we're going to be talking about my favorite topic, family channels. Not just any family channel, but family channels on TikTok. Probably some of the most controversial influencers have been family channels. So we're going to be talking about that today. But real quick, before we get into it, I just wanted to say thank y'all. I just started this channel earlier this year, y'all. This has been like my 8th month on YouTube. I think 9th, 8.5 or something. And we're already almost at 70K, which is crazy, y'all. So if you like watching videos just like this, make sure you subscribe and join the community, y'all. You are helping support a small channel on YouTube to keep making videos just like this one every single week for y'all, to keep entertaining y'all, to keep doing what I love and what y'all love. So family vlogging, or like the day in the life of a mom content, has been around on social media for I don't even know how long, y'all. I feel like ever since the dawn of monetization on YouTube, some families out there, some moms out there have found a way to make money off their kids. I feel like it's probably been like maybe a solid like 12 years now. But within the last 2 years, like 2024 and 2025, I have seen specifically a huge rise of family vloggers and like mom vloggers and mom talk on TikTok. And by mom talk, I don't mean like the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives mom talk. By mom talk, I mean like their whole persona and like all the money that they make online from their persona is like solely reliant on being a mom, or worse, on filming their kids every single day, all day, and putting it on TikTok for the whole world to see. Because the thing about like family channels and like kid channels, kid-based channels, is it's actually a really profitable niche. Like, I'm pretty sure one of the highest paid YouTubers, y'all, is like Ryan's World, who is a toy reviewer. And I think he was like 8 or something when he started his channel. Y'all, he gets paid $20 million a year. $20 million. Excuse me, all he does is play with toys. But it is one of the most profitable niches to go into, sadly, especially when you're not paying the kids who make your content viral in the first place. And don't get me wrong, while there are a ton of healthy, mentally stable, positive, active, funny, great moms on TikTok, obviously with every great bunch there comes a few bad apples in the bunch. So 2025 has seen some of the worst apples, I would say, like probably some of the craziest moms online for sure. To make it a little bit interesting today, y'all, I thought that I would take you along with me for some of the research on this video, because I have heard, obviously I've heard about like the crazy, lazy, even the Rapture moms of TikTok that just happened with the Rapture talk that just happened. I know some of the lore, like I've heard podcasts, I've listened to podcasts about it, but I've never actually seen their videos with my own 2 eyes. So today we're not only going to be talking about, but we're also going to be reacting, my live reaction to the most controversial moms of TikTok. And to aid us today, I have crafted this ranking chart. 1 being slightly controversial. I wouldn't say you would want to be at, but compared to all of the other ranks, I think that number 1, slightly controversial, is the ideal ring, followed by rage bait. You know, rage bait can still be fake. If the content is giving like, okay, this is clearly just for views, you don't actually live this way, you don't actually believe these things. 3, sis, what are you doing? And that's pretty self-explanatory, I would say. Followed by number 4, what the fuck? Again, pretty self-explanatory. And finally, the top spot that nobody should ever want to be at. Ash Trevino level mom. This spot is specifically reserved for situations that are giving, okay, this is actually very harmful and dangerous to your own children, and it's giving like, oh my god, do you even care? Oh my god, what are you doing? It's giving all of the above. Now, a little bit of background so that y'all don't come for me yet. Don't come for me just yet. There are a lot of ethical and moral reasons why the internet doesn't particularly approve of family vloggers, much less the controversial, problematic ones that we are going to be looking at today, but just family vloggers in general. Some of these issues in family vlogging and recording your kids for money it's a huge breach of privacy. You're forcing the kids to be in the public eye for your own fame and money and monetary value. A lot of family vloggers don't actually pay their kids or bother putting money aside for their kids for their futures. This was really controversial because in California, there's a lot, y'all, a lot of family vloggers and like child stars. And recently, California passed a law where you actually have to put a percentage of your earnings away for the child that's earning them if they're under 18, and it's basically like a mandatory trust fund. So this caused people to move out of California and to a state where this tax didn't exist so that they can continue filming their kids and family vlogging, but then they, the parents, keep all the money and they don't have to put any aside for the kids. It is crazy that people actually moved out of California as soon as this law was passed, and they tried to pass it off like, oh no, California was just too expensive. You know, like my daughters have just been begging for a house with a backyard, so that's why we moved to Wyoming, which, you know, coincidentally doesn't have any income tax. Some more reasons include airing out like dirty laundry or like family drama for the world to see. Like, imagine if your parents aired out your family drama and family secrets and secrets they had about you all over TikTok and all over the internet, and it was just on the internet forever. With filming your kids also every single day for content and not blurring their faces, you are running the risk of putting your kids out there to be viewed by everyone, including possible predators. You know, God forbid they post a video of a kid having a bath or getting washed, which I have seen some family vloggers literally post their unclothed children. And like, I feel like a lot of family vloggers maybe think that by forcing their kids to be famous, they're giving them opportunities for the future, when in reality, they're much more likely to be taking opportunities away from them. Like, for example, if it's like a controversial presence, a lot of family vloggers also got into family vlogging because they don't actually want to work a real job. So instead, they're just making money off of their kids. And vlogging is hard. It's not just like turn on the camera and live your life. People think vlogging is easy, but it's very, very difficult. That's why I would never be a vlogger. It is like your whole life has to be aesthetic and filmed and planned and scripted. And if something happens or someone says something wrong, you have to then restart the whole scene. So this obviously causes the children to work really long hours filming and act certain ways when the camera is on, which can also be very toxic and problematic. Imagine you are a kid and you made a cute little finger painting and you're giving it to your mom and you're like, Mom, I made this for you.
Oh, that's so cute. Now go back to your room and come out in 20 seconds when I turn the camera on. Make sure you face the left side of your face to me because that's your good side. Change your shirt because there's a stain on it. I can't have that in the vlog. Go back, change your shirt, and come back here, say the same thing, except give me more love, more excitement, you know? Really hug this time.
And probably one of the most problematic things that people point out is being on camera all the time and being in the public eye can cause children to have extreme stress to the point where they could actually potentially fall behind from school, or worse, drop out voluntarily, or even get expelled or suspended if they don't show up or if their grades are too low. There's also cases of kids getting bullied severely when their parents are online making a fool of themselves because they want to be some type of controversial mom vlogger. People don't understand that social media presences really only last about 5 years for like 90% of influencers. Like 5 years is about the lifespan of like a YouTube channel or an online presence of any source before people low-key kind of just like get bored of you, and there's other people that come up and grab their attention. But what's online is forever. So people are really posting so much like shocking rage bait, especially with their kids online, and don't understand that that is literally going to be tied to you forever. So then when you consider all of that, and then you mix it with crazed activities like surrendering your kids to CPS because you think that there's going to be rapture, or forcing 5 children to live in a 1-bedroom apartment while you beg for money on fake GoFundMe profiles for fake divorces that aren't happening, then you end up here. In some cases, some of these families are dealing with systemic issues, mental health problems, they're living in poverty, they might be trapped in poverty, and yes, that should definitely be recognized. There are people who fall between the cracks of the system, but it's important to remember 2 things can be true at once, y'all. And yes, they may be victims of the system, but they are also very clearly, which is why they're on this channel today, very clearly not the best people with the best intentions for themselves nor their children. So now that we've covered that, let's hop into our first mom today. The mom who gave her kid to CPS because of the rapture. So if you've been online at all recently or seen like any commentator on YouTube, because I swear to God everyone was talking about this, you might have seen that the rapture just happened on TikTok, where people predicted the end of the world. Some people were going very far because of this rapture. Some people were selling off all of their belongings, getting rid of their savings, selling their houses, allegedly. The rapture started with one guy, okay, one dude, a South African pastor named Pastor Joshua, who claimed that Jesus came down from the sky, appeared directly in front of him, and said, "I will be coming back on September 23rd. Be ready, because I will be there." After the rapture didn't happen, suddenly he changed his story and said,
well, it actually wasn't, me that saw Jesus. It was actually this other guy who saw Jesus, and then that guy told me. So Jesus told that guy, and that guy told me. So it wasn't actually my fault. It wasn't actually me.
A lot of people on TikTok were posting about how the rapture was coming, telling people things that they're doing to prepare for said rapture, such as selling off all worldly possessions. One lady in particular seemingly surrendered her child to CPS, and this particular story has been on like every single commentator's channel, y'all. I don't want to rain on everyone's parade, but there's no real record of this ever happening. The CPS rumor actually originated from this lady who posted this on TikTok and got almost 2 million views. And since then, everyone just kept spreading this rumor and spreading information. And I don't know if like people just don't do their research, because I was like, what do you mean seeing this video? So I screenshotted it and reverse image searched the picture. And as you can see, this CPS video is actually from a family in Arizona 2 years ago. So this was just straight up a lie. I can't believe so many people actually made hours and hours and hours of deep dives on this. A lot of videos that people are using on these 2-hour, 3-hour long deep dives about rapture talk are all satire videos. Actually, if you look at their profile, like specifically these videos are being used in a lot of rapture talk things to say like, oh, everyone is going crazy because of the rapture. Look at this stupid lady. She even wrapped her dog up in tinfoil. If you look at hashtag rapture talk on TikTok, most of these videos are very clearly jokes if you just take 30 seconds to look at their profile. Some of them even have hashtag satire in that exact TikTok video. It's just satire. It's people who are making fun of the very small group of people who actually believed in the rapture, because it's a lot smaller of a group than one would think. I did, however, find an astonishing amount of rapture moms, real rapture moms, who believed in the rapture. They didn't give anything away though. They instead left behind very detailed notes for the rest of their family, assuming that the moms were the only ones who were pure enough to be raptured and that their kids and husbands would probably be left behind. Here's a video from somebody named Alex OK.
This letter reads, "Dearest Alex, Bree, and Megan." That is my sisters and I. If you are reading this, then what biblical prophecy has said has come true. We are gone. I pray that you have gone with me and we will meet in heaven. If this isn't the case, then I pray that you will listen with an open heart what I'm about to say. The world is going to be a terrible place. It'll just be days before complete chaos reigns. Take the cash and get non-perishable food items. There are gas cans in the garage. Fill them up. Go immediately to do this, as anything electronic will be shutting down. The internet will probably go out for a few days, but it will be back up. It will be filled with lies about the rapture. We were not taken by aliens, but by God. There is still a chance that you will make it to heaven, but it will be the most difficult road to follow. Hopefully, though, you can believe that God is real, and the only way to heaven is through Jesus. In the days to come, the beast system will be started. This is where you have to take a mark on your hand or forehead to buy and sell anything. Do not take it in all caps with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 exclamation points.
I don't know what this woman is talking about, saying that nothing is going to work, the internet's going to be gone, she can get to heaven if she believes in God, and then she's going to have a mark on her forehead. This definitely gives like a little bit of psychosis. For sure. And I don't mean to be rude, but just like the way that her mom is wording this letter, it just sounds very like, it sounds like the stories that I used to write when I would smoke a ton of weed before bed when I was 14. It just doesn't make any sense, really. Like, it makes sense when you yourself are reading it, but when other people read it, they're like, okay, put the pipe down, sis.
If you do, there is no redemption for you. Not taking it, though, will be difficult. You will have to hide, you will have to run, you will have to live off the land, you will be hunted. This will be for 7 years. But then the second coming of Jesus will happen, and those who still remain that haven't taken the mark and turned their lives to Jesus will be saved. If you have remained, then I hope that this is the choice you make. I pray that this is the choice you make. There really is a heaven and a hell. Hell will be for eternity. It will be terrible. Do not believe the lies that will circulate. There will be false prophets and there will be deception around every corner. I will be creating lies quicker than you can read them. Please don't believe them. The deception will be tempting. The deception will seem so real. There will be people saying that they are Jesus, but this isn't true. The only way Jesus is coming back is in the clouds 7 years from now, not any sooner. I'm sorry that my religious teachings weren't strong enough to have you believe. And this is how I know this letter is directed for me specifically, because I am an outspoken atheist.
It seems like what some of these rapture moms are doing is they used the rapture as an excuse to point the finger at everyone else who doesn't believe in the same things that they believe. As we just heard, her daughter is an atheist, hence why she left a 7-paragraph note detailing that she will not be coming to heaven with her. She will be hunted, have a life full of deception. And it just gives like you're using the rapture as one final dig at your family to say, I'm better than you because I'm more Christian than you because I believed.
I'm sorry for being a terrible mother. I've tried with my limited resources, never had much support in my life until the last 12 years. That's a dig at her 16-year marriage to my father. She didn't work a day in her life. He paid her entire way, and she ran up his credit card debt, cheated on him when she finally did get a job with a man from work, is now married to him.
You cheated on him. You literally cheated. That's adultery. That's a sin. You're literally sinning. You sinned, you tore your family apart. And also, I thought that in the Bible, you're not even supposed to be getting divorces. Oh my God, why do people do this? The worst people are the people who go to church every Sunday, preach Christianity, and then go and commit the most diabolical sins and still think that they're a good person because somehow going to church every Sunday makes up for ruining people's families and ruining people's lives.
Alex, get in touch with both of your sisters, if either of them are left. Call them immediately. Communications will go down. I won't forget any of you left here. I'll be praying for you to make it through this 7 years tribulation. I know that you will be struggling with blank and blank being gone. Those are my sons. Try not to worry. They are with me and Don, but especially with Jesus.
Oh my God, wait, sorry, she looks so young. I literally thought this girl was like 17 or 18. This is a whole ass grown woman with her own children, and this rapture mom has the audacity to say that her grandchildren, her kids will be coming up to heaven, but her daughter won't be. That is absolutely insane to me. That's so rude. That is so rude to say.
I'm not sure how this works with domesticated pets, but I'd like to think God has brought them to heaven with their believing owners. Is it the case?
So the dogs will make it to heaven, The dogs is coming, but you ain't coming. Oh my God.
She signs, God bless Mom. She listed her storage shed where her truck would be left, her back door unlocked, her dogs outside, no food, one small bowl of water. If you heard me list the names, that was 4 dogs. That would be my mother.
Jail just for leaving your dogs outside with no food and no water for an entire day. Jail. Oh my goodness. People need to be talking about this because this is absolutely atrocious. I'm flabbergasted. For all Rapture moms, including this mom, who were ready to abandon their entire families and wholeheartedly believe with their whole heart that they were the only ones pure enough to be saved. I'm gonna go ahead and rank that a strong sis. What are you doing? Now, on to our next mom, the donut mom. So the infamous donut mom has been making a lot of waves on YouTube lately, otherwise known as AlexBaby97. For like a solid 3 weeks last month, everyone I subscribed to just randomly brought up donut mom and made like these deep dives on her. She was a mom who went viral back in 2024 for packing her kids' lunches full of like these massive cake donuts and these really long, like 5-foot marshmallow strands, like the comically long marshmallow candies that you get at like the fair. She packed those for her kids' lunches. She would make videos about plating her kids' dinner and would give entire Whoppers, large burgers, large fries to a 4-year-old. She has 3 kids. They are 8, 6, and the youngest is 2, turning 3 this year. But when she started making these plate my kids dinner with me videos, her kids were 7, 4, and 1. And yes, she fed the 1-year-old, who don't even have any teeth yet, a Whopper burger with large fries. 8 months ago, I made a video about this exact mom, y'all, this exact mom, and I called her out for being unhealthy in a compilation videos of like a lot of these lazy moms that were feeding their kids really unhealthy food and living unhealthy lifestyles before the lazy mom was a trend on TikTok way back in like January, and it was one of my first videos. I think it was the second or third video I ever made on YouTube, and I got absolutely fucking flamed in the comments. People were talking about, well, why don't you give us some healthy alternatives? Why don't you try cooking for a family of 4 on a budget? Do you have any idea how expensive groceries are for a family? You're not a mom, so how can you judge moms? She's doing the best she can with what she's got, and she's an inspiration for moms. I would just like to point out that it is now 8 months later. This same mom has gained more followers, made more money, has dozens of sponsorships and brand deals. She actually has 23 pinned videos just dedicated to sponsored videos. She's got affiliate links, yet her situation has actually gotten a lot worse. Instead of just serving overly unhealthy meals like feeding her 4 and 6-year-old kids donuts and marshmallows and fast food every day for dinner, but their house has now turned into a complete disaster zone. Every video, you can see all the surfaces, the floor is coated in garbage, covered in food mess, and like a few crumbs on the floor is normal for like toddlers, but there are entire ass meals just sitting on the floor, like blocks of cheese, half-eaten burgers, sandwiches just on the floor. There's garbage everywhere. There's dirty dishes everywhere. There are bugs infested in her dishes.
Donut Mom, aka Alex, deleted this video of a roach crawling behind her, and we have got to talk about it.
In her food, there's mold on her food. There's an infestation of maggots inside of her dishwasher. And there's footage of her kids begging to sleep in the living room because the window in the kids' room is busted. I don't know if it's broken open or what. Maybe it just got smashed.
Sleeping in the living room tonight, and you won't let me.
When did I say you could sleep in the living room?
It's hot in my room. I'm always hot in my room when I sleep in it.
I didn't say you could sleep in the living room.
But the window's busted, and the room is very cold. And also, won't fix her kid's window. Call me crazy. Call me crazy, y'all. I don't really see this particular person as being a very good example for a mom doing the best she can on like a low budget. Mainly because they eat fast food for dinner every single day. And if y'all have seen the price of McDonald's these days, it is not cheap. McDonald's, y'all, is taxing these days. I don't know what happened, but $20 for one meal at McDonald's is crazy. I consider McDonald's low-key like kind of a luxury. Before the pandemic, it was $1 for a cheeseburger. It's $4 now for a cheeseburger. For a cheeseburger. So these people are out here buying grown-ass, men-ass meals for their little toddlers. They have to be spending upwards of $40 to $60 just on their fast food dinners every single day alone. This is not a good representation of somebody who is low income. This person is not low income. This person has the luxury of eating out every single day. I don't even have that luxury, y'all. I can't even afford that. Can y'all afford that? I would go broke if that's how high my DoorDash bill was. If y'all want a good representation of like a low income mom, there's this one chick that I followed for like years, and her name, I forget her name, but she always posted videos where the caption was like, dinner in the trailer park as a 20-year-old single mom of 4 or something like that. And she posted like similar cooking videos every day where she would be like, make dinner with me. She also got a lot of hate because of how unhealthy and cheap the meals were and how it lacked vegetables and fruits. She got a lot of hate for that. But as soon as she started getting hyped up on TikTok and she got them brand deals and got the creator reward checks, she invested all of that money into buying a house. So she literally took her kids out of the mud, out of the trailer park, and bought a full house for everyone to live at. That's somebody who is a great representation of a mom who does the best they can and put the children first. Whereas Donut Mom, however, has been given this exact same situation with the exact same circumstances. She is, I think, 7 years older than the trailer park mom, but she's somehow only gotten worse in terms of what she feeds her kids. And like I said, the issue with Donut Mom isn't that she was low income. She might not have ever been low income to begin with because she had a house, whereas the other girl was living in a trailer park. Because again, she can afford to feed her kids junk food every single day. Sister's buying fast food every day. In this economy, I think not. It's ridiculous because it's like you're spending all this money to eat worse. It doesn't even taste good. It tastes like cardboard and styrofoam. McDonald's in the USA is the only thing that I've ever actually spit out. It's the only time I've spit out my food. So like I said, people are now just pointing out that her living conditions have visibly gotten a lot worse. People have spotted bugs in her videos, in her kitchen, in her dishwasher, on her forks, mold in things that she's packing into her kids' lunches. Not just unhealthy, crazy calorie-packed meals for 1-year-olds, but there's literally something wrong with the situation now. Here, for example, she posted it 3 hours ago from filming this, packing her lunches for her 2 older kids and her boyfriend. And in one of the lunches, people are pointing out that the bag of strawberries she puts in the lunch kit are full of mold.
My 6-year-old's lunchbox is a little smaller, but we're gonna do her.
Ew. Oh my god, it is full of mold. Oh my god, I just saw it with my own 2 eyes. Oh my. Also, I don't want to be the health police over here, but every single thing that she just put in that lunch kit was processed and full of sugar and calories and salt. Every single thing that she just put in was full of chemicals, not one healthy thing. Even strawberries, just because they're a fruit, people think that they're good for you. They're not. Fruits actually don't really have too much nutritional value. They have like vitamin C and D, but for the most part, they're really full of sugar. Vegetables is what you need to be eating to get your vitamin intake. Vegetables. A Lunchable with ham, which is awful for you in a lot of different ways. Gummy worms, Rice Krispie Square, and a bag of strawberries that are full of mold. And an apple, because I'm sure she's gonna eat that. I don't know about y'all, but when I was a kid and my mom made me lunch, if she packed me a Rice Krispie Square and an apple, the apple's going back home.
We got Pizza Hut. My 8-year-old got chicken Alfredo. My boyfriend got chicken Alfredo. They both got cheese sticks with their Alfredo. And me and my 6-year-old and mother-in-law are gonna share this pizza on a plate. But this is my 6-year-old's plate, and I forgot her wings. Now here's my 6-year-old's plate.
And that's for a 6-year-old. That is for somebody who is the age of 6. That's so much food for a 6-year-old. And she does this in every video.
And that's dinner. Have a good night.
Come with me to count the flies living in Donut Mom's kitchen.
Ew. Ew, 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 ew. Oh my god. I think I'm gonna be sick. I think I'm going to be sick. Oh my, no, I can't. That's the one thing that I can't do. I can't, no. To give her the benefit of the doubt, she has been open about her depression, but Bitch, I know you're making money. Why can you not just hire a maid? If you can afford to eat fast food every single day, why can you not just hire a maid? Donut Mom, if your kids were grown or you had just came up on TikTok, I'd probably place you at 1 for being slightly controversial, but negative 20 points for feeding this slop to a kindergartner and a preschooler and to a 1-year-old who doesn't even have teeth yet. To give her the benefit of the doubt, I do hope that she gets the mental health support that she needs. I hope she takes some money from that 23 or more sponsored posts that she's pinned on her page and her multiple sponsorship and affiliate links that she has in her beacons, and is able to pay for a weekly cleaner or maybe like a dietitian plan or something, because it makes me sad, honestly, seeing people live like this. I feel really bad for the kids, but I also feel really bad for her. But at the same time, I don't feel too bad for her because people have really tried, y'all. They have tried really hard, have tried to tell her that what she's doing and how she's feeding her kids is really harmful to them. But she just gives us the finger time and time again. And she makes these videos every once in a while talking about how the haters are going to hate. But I know that I'm a damn good mom. The PFP says it all. But with all that considered, I think I'm just gonna have to place her at number 2, rage bait. Oh wait, I literally forgot that she won't fix her kid's window and it's smashed. Never mind, I'm gonna put you at sis, what are you doing? The resilient Jenkins. I never actually knew who they were or bothered to watch any deep dives because like I just hate all family channels and I kind of just write them off as all being the same and all being problematic. But looking into it while researching this video, I realized that there might actually be something seriously wrong with this particular situation. Stephanie Jenkins is the mom of this resilient Jenkins family. She is a part of a family of 7. She has 5 kids. Actually, you know what? First of all, the resilient Jenkins has a boatload of lore, because I did actually watch a few deep dives on them and did a lot of research. They have a boatload, a ridiculously absurd amount of lore. And it's really bad. Like, people make whole ass 3-hour deep dives about it. It's really bad. It's like really awful. There's a lawsuit. There's a court case. She has 2 baby daddies. One of them is her ex-husband that she's actually legally still married to, who was or still is in prison for, get this, multiple essays against children as young as 8 and kidnapping a 13-year-old girl, as well as essaying his own mother. These people are exhausting. Y'all, these parents are exhausting. So I'm not going to be going into all the lore today because it is enough to make an entire documentary. But here is just a rundown for y'all. So Stephanie Jenkins, were legally Stephanie Thompson because Jenkins is the last name of her new baby daddy. So they've been online for about 3 years, and the mom has been begging for money from people in live streams and also posted TikToks asking for help with a down payment on a new apartment because she'd be leaving her man because she found out that her man was, had a whole other family. Her man, by the way, despite living in a 1-bedroom apartment with 5 children, with no proper living space or private space for any of their kids, despite barely being able to afford groceries or meals for their kids, has his own TV and a PS5, and also is the only person who has a bedroom. Like, he takes up the 1 bedroom in the 1-bedroom apartment, even though there's 5 kids. Why would they not just buy 2 bunk beds and like 1 single bed for the 5 kids and put it in the single bedroom and then the parents sleep in the living room? Would that not make more sense than having 5 children take over your whole living room and kitchen space? Why would you not just give the kids the bedroom? Like that, what's not clicking, Steven? Recently, they actually seem to have gotten evicted from their 1-bedroom apartment that they lived at for several years and started now motel hopping. So they are legally homeless now, and they have been living in various motels for this entire year of 2025. And not only do they keep motel hopping, but she apparently keeps getting evicted from these motels because people are reporting the children's living conditions. At one point, she actually got evicted from 2 motels within the same week. 2 motels in 1 week is crazy. From what everyone sensible says, it appears that neither parent had a real job, so they reported her because they wanted her to take more responsibility to bring in more money into their home and provide a stable life for their children. It also seems that they were paying their bills through welfare and food stamps over the course of many, many years. A lot of people actually call out Stephanie for abusing the system. misusing government programs, neglecting her children by making them sleep in a big pile in a motel room where they have to move every 28 days so that they can't establish legal residency, and choosing to be a stay-at-home mom rather than to go out and get a job while her kids are at school. People are accusing her also, interestingly, of having narcissistic personality disorder, which is a pretty big accusation. People are saying that because she's constantly saying,
I put my kids first. My kids are first in my life. I always put my kids first. Me second, my kids first.
Yet she is not actually actively doing anything to change their environment, and instead just continues to exploit them for money and spend all of that money on herself. And I'm doing this for my kids, and my kids come first. But it's like, okay, where and how do your kids come first? Because I'm not seeing any proof. In fact, I think if your children were to come first, you would be getting a job, or your husband would be getting a job at the least. They actually only get a little bit of money through TikTok sponsorships, creative rewards program, GoFundMes, TikTok live stream gifts, and her husband seems to be like a gig worker, like he works odd jobs every now and then for like some money. So here's a video of him coming home, and the caption is, "Hubby's been working so many hours and breaking his brain calculating all of our kids' needs. His first goal was to buy our daughter a new pair of unicorn shoes that she's always wanted, but has a PS5 and an extra TV. Extra hours. How much these shoes cost?" Yeah, low-key, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, those look really cheap. Those look like they're probably 25, 35 bucks at most. So what are you talking about? Hubby's been working extra hours. He has a PS5, a computer, and another TV directly behind her. By the way, she has actually talked about on her TikTok how her husband or boyfriend or whatever you want to call it actually has like a video game addiction and spends all of his spare time playing video games, and that's probably also a reason why he doesn't want to get a job, because of his very serious video game addiction that he has. Here's a video she posted back in March when she first got evicted from, I think, what looks to be her one-bedroom apartment that she had been posting in for the last 2 years.
I find it interesting you follow us around public and don't want to say hi. Y'all so bold in them comments, but you won't say nothing to our faces. And that's not even enough. Y'all had to make a bunch of hateful, untrue calls to the hotel we're staying at and get us kicked out. How the fuck miserable you gotta be in your own life to come at a family that's not doing anything to you? You sit there and say you want to do what's best for the children, but yet you want to send them to 2 abusive homes. You think it's better to split up a perfectly happy family and send kids to homes they don't even want to be in, to live with people they want nothing to do with. I mean, just make it make sense. These kids are happy where they're at. Home is wherever the fuck we are together. And I'm sorry for the blunt language, but I'm not the one who threw the energy first. Y'all come at me first. And part of me thinks that's why you actually don't want to interact with us in person, is because you know you're not going to meet terrible people, and you want so badly to be like, they were terrible people. That's just not going to be the case. Kids would most definitely not be happier with my mother. Like I said, they want nothing to do with her. I still remember all the trauma you brought on to us, Mom. I'm trying to give you that opportunity to back off now, or I'll start saying some shit. I know you'll go and try to use that, well, you're
and then it cuts off. So I don't know how long she ranted for, but the video cuts off right there. I don't know if she realized that she had it on 1 minute timer, but so there's absolutely no ownership of one's actions here. I don't know how a grown woman can actually just stand there and point the finger and swear at her entire audience. You really just cussed out your entire audience, all of your supporters, all the people that are commenting, saving, liking your video that's making you money. You just cuss them out and say, I don't know how y'all can be so ungrateful. Y'all report a family that ain't doing nothing wrong. We fine up here, they're perfectly happy. Well, they're not perfectly happy. They're living in a pile, and they have no clean clothes, clean toys, and their dishes are being washed in a bathtub. Some people actually get offended at her giving this representation of what it's like to live in poverty, because even people who grow up poor, their houses were still clean, and they were still organized people, and they still valued manners in some cases and valued home cooking. To say, I don't know, I feel like she's kind of giving like the representation that like, oh, this is how poor people live. This is how everyone lives when you're poor and when you're in poverty. It's like insulting to people who are actually very low income or living at the poverty line, and they're actually working hard to keep their house clean and provide a real good life for their children. It's like low-key like slandering the poorer families in America. It's some people's normal for sure, But how many influencers do y'all know with like 1 million followers who have brand deals and sponsorships and make all this money online? How many influencers do y'all know who are choosing to stay living in poverty for 4 years? Like, it just make sense. How, like, where is this money going? You know, where's all your money going? Because you're making money, where's it going? Also, apparently, she killed her cat because even though she is legally homeless, supporting 5 children, she decided that she wanted to get herself a cat. And then shortly afterwards of getting this cat, the cat just went missing and disappeared from her TikTok profile, and it was never addressed, but she did get fined with animal abuse for neglecting her cat. And she was actually banned from adopting a new pet for 2 years. So I don't know. I think she actually probably neglected it, and that's probably what led to the cat's death. But then a week ago, she went and got herself a new cat, a kitten, which made animal control rush the motel property, and that is probably why she got evicted from that motel. I also found this Reddit thread that is dedicated to exposing the Resilient Jenkins and Resilient Jenkins slander. So here we have a carousel of a bunch of different photos, like screenshots that this person has taken from the Resilient Jenkins videos. And below, they're explaining all the screenshots and the evidence and what all of these mean. Gaming is an issue with the dad, but she chose to have 2 kids with him. This was posted before the first baby was born. She admits to smoking too much that she can't get pregnant. Then goes on to smoke during pregnancy. See pic 5 and 6. Oh my god. See, like, these people have problems. She says she doesn't understand how people can parent while they're not high. She is literally driving a car. This picture is posted regarding their situation being rough. This is before she was pregnant. Despite posting this and acknowledging that her situation is rough, she chose to get pregnant and have another baby. Drinking raw milk while pregnant, not supposed to do that. You could harm your baby with bacteria. Cat litter while pregnant. You're also not supposed to expose yourself to cat litter. There's a lot of stuff you're not supposed to do while pregnant. So here's a video that she posted explaining why she would rather be a stay-at-home mom versus go get a job. It's a little hard to follow, and also she put copyrighted music on it, so it's just gonna be quiet. It might be a little awkward. I'm not putting my kids in someone else's care. I am blessed to not miss any moments with my kids. Her kitchen is a complete fucking disaster, by the way. There is a pile of dirty, soiled dishes next to a pile of dirt and garbage, and she's wearing shoes, Crocs, in the house to avoid stepping on sticky mud, probably, and mess, and dirt, and crumbs, and food, and bugs, probably. That's why she's wearing shoes in the house. Number 2, I'm making about the same I'd make if I were to go back to working, but I'm making it from home. You mean to tell me you wouldn't want that? Well, clearly you can't handle it. Clearly you are irresponsible. You are not responsible enough to work from home because the money that you're making doesn't go to anything good. I don't know where it goes, but it's not going anywhere good. Low-key, when people make a lot of money and it disappears, usually the answer is like either gambling or drugs. But I don't think there's any evidence to suggest that she does drugs other than having a marijuana addiction. She has said multiple times that she is addicted to cannabis and she smokes every single day. So honestly, like, low-key, weed is really expensive, and if you have a high tolerance, it can cost you like hundreds of dollars per week. So low-key, maybe that is where her money is going. Maybe it's all just going to weed. Right now, it's just what works best for our family. There may come a time where I decide to go back to work. I actually miss working. Number 4, I actually want to start my own business from home. What home? You live in a motel by choice. I don't think that you can have a business address at a motel. Number 5, I share my life online, and I get that people share their opinions, but that never means I have to listen to it. What choices I choose to make involve me and God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Another one of these. Oh my goodness gracious. Sister, these people aren't just giving you their opinions. They're telling you that what you're doing is harming your children. You are forcing them to grow up in poverty when they don't need to be. They are not happy. They're living in garbage. They live in a pile. They sleep in a pile. They have to move every 28 days. How can that possibly be a happy childhood? Maybe it's okay when you're a little tiny toddler and you don't know what's going on. But what are you going to do when these people get into like middle school? High school, what are you going to do? And the comment says, staying at home is a luxury for those who can afford it, not for those living in a damn motel moving every 28 days. Wanting to be a stay-at-home mom without a place to call home is, yeah, that's ridiculous. Her whole motel is covered in garbage and toys and trash and Kleenexes and just Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's horrible. That is so horrible. I feel really, really bad for these kids. So this is a video of her shopping, spending money on herself, the money that people have donated for her kids. She spends that on what looks to be a type of massage chair. I'm confused. I'm working 2 jobs 7 days a week and cannot afford to shop because after the bills are paid, I have nothing left. What am I doing wrong that she has money to shop online? Receiving mail to a motel is actually kind of crazy to me. Oh my God, y'all are so mean. Oh my God, who made this picture of the Barbie? Thank God TikTok put in a feature where you can reply with pictures because I don't know where I would get all of my photos to put in my videos. Y'all are, whoever made this Barbie photo of her is absolutely fucking diabolical. I think that's enough of Miss Jenkins for today. Like I said, I could go on about this family forever. But if you're interested, Cursed Eye made a full-on deep dive documentary about Stephanie Thompson or Stephanie Jenkins. So I suggest y'all check that out after this video if y'all are still interested in hearing everything about the Jenkins family. You, ma'am, are undoubtedly going to be placed at number 1, Ash Trevino level parenting. Actually, if there is a box for above Ash, I would have put you above Ash somehow. It's no wonder people have been making documentaries about this family. This is insane work. Our next mom is Kelsey Ray, the infamous unschooling mom. So this is yet another TikTok mom with an insanely exhausting amount of lore. I spent so much time on the Jenkins, I don't want to spend even more time on Kelsey Ray, so I'm just going to give y'all another quick rundown. So Kelsey Ray is an ex-convict. She was originally charged with attempted murder of the 1st degree and also charged in connection with a shooting that unalived somebody. I don't know the full story, but I know at one point she was originally facing 90 years in prison, yet she only served 25 days because both of these crimes were committed while she was still 17 years old. So she served 25 days in prison following a 4-year probation. She grew 1 million followers on TikTok by preaching a philosophy called unschooling, where she basically pulls her kids out of school to be homeschooled by her, where the topic and the lessons are decided by the kids based on what the kids want to learn. I don't know how much faith I have in Gen Alpha to take on this kind of responsibility for themselves. So she started like an entire unschooling movement, and people were really backing her. So this is her day 1 of unschooling. She documented this on TikTok, day 1 of unschooling.
My kids helping me to clean the car out, teaching them hard work, taking care of the things that you love, that you need, and also just needed the car clean. Also, you didn't have to follow instructions. Now they're going to go grocery shopping with me, and we're going to learn about reading labels. We're going to learn about math. When you're buying groceries, you need to make sure that the quality of it is good. So turn it over on each one, make sure that there's no molded ones, make sure they all look pretty good, and if they do, you put them in their buggy.
Oh yeah, that looks way more important than basic math.
You typically want to make sure that you pick the lowest price, and if it's a low price and it looks like it's a good apple, like Honeycrisp are good apples, we can get a bag of those.
Buddy, you're talking to a 7-year-old. He doesn't even know division yet. You got a good 11 years until he has to learn about groceries. I can't believe, y'all, that this got 193,000 likes. I can't believe almost 200,000 people agree with this woman. A lot of people are actually agreeing with her in the comments, saying that they too themselves unschooled their kids and pulled them out of school and taught them life lessons. Unschooling family of 5 years here. We learn basic reading, writing, and math, but mostly life skills. Gardening, budgeting, farming, cooking. Best decision. So pulled out of school and only taught basic math, reading, and writing. So this is basically what they taught the early settlers of the 1800s. So you're giving the 1800s education system. My great-grandparents were immigrants from the Ukraine to Canada in the 1800s. And his parents pulled him out of school in grade 2 to teach him how to work the crops in the fields. So my great-grandpa was unschooled, I suppose. My great-grandpa was a good man. He actually lived by himself until 94 years old in his own house that he built and drove his own truck that he fixed. But he didn't understand a lot of issues in the world, and also he only knew 20 letters of the alphabet, and he doesn't understand the difference between D, P, and B. I have a birthday card from him and I can't even read it. So, you know, if history is any indication here.
day 2 of unschooling and we're at the park learning how to have fun. But before you get your panties in a wad, listen. Yes, we're going to be doing reading and writing and math and maybe science, but it's not going to look the same as traditional public school. It's going to be different. There's so many comments in my comment section about, well, what if they want to be a doctor or a lawyer? And I think I've already mentioned this before one time already, but like the likelihood of my kids wanting to do something that they don't see that I'm normalizing is very slim. On top of I'm very proactive inside of my profession and my career of being an entrepreneur, they're likely going to follow that path because they're going to see how successful. I'm also going to teach them the right way. How many doctors and lawyers and, other professions do you see where they're literally in debt and most of these people are miserable?
You're not teaching them anything about earth science, media literacy, which is so important for Americans to learn about. Where are they going to learn about other cultures like Asian history or indigenous history or American history, world issues, political issues, biology, geography, the difference between different countries and states or even cities? The reason that history classes exist is because if we as a society don't learn from our past mistakes, then we're doomed to repeat them. That's why we started documenting things. That's why we have textbooks. That's why we learn about it. So they are basically doomed to a life of ignorance. What you're really teaching them isn't just like life skills and things that'll help them. You're teaching them to focus on things that are only in front of them. You are completely omitting any teaching of discipline, problem solving, critical thinking, and they're never gonna learn how to work hard for like long-term goals and long-term success because all of that just gets completely thrown out the window.
Homeschool is you're still using the schooling curriculum to teach your child, and you still have to turn in paperwork to the government, and you still have to you have to check some boxes. You still have to check boxes, which is what I don't want to do. I don't want to check boxes about my life and my child for the fucking government. Unschooling is where I'm still learning, I'm still researching, but it's basically where you don't have to check a box. You teach your kid what you want them to learn, and a lot of the times you leave it up to them of what they want to learn. And there is studies that show kids who do unschooling and even homeschooling are actually faster learners, and I want to say smarter than public school kids. I'm pretty sure there's studies out there, okay?
Yeah, this would never fly in Canada. Also, do we not just learn these things? I literally learned all of this. And I still went to school. So do people not know how to like grocery shop? It's literally the easiest thing. It doesn't take a day to learn to grocery shop. You don't have to pull your kids out of school to learn to grocery shop. You just lowest price, make sure the vegetable's good. That's it. That's all there is to it. Recently, Kelsey Ray actually got even more criticism and backlash because even though she pulled her kids out for like unschooling and preached unschooling, she actually quietly put them back into school. I think it's like some type of like school program or like a self-paced school that her kids go to every day, despite preaching the concept of unschooling to everyone on the internet, to 1 million people. So even she doesn't believe in the validity of unschooling. Also, the entire unschooling community actually called her out for being a really bad representation of what unschooling is and the way that she presents it to the world. Apparently it's like very inaccurate and it's actually very harmful.
And I've seen her make a number of videos confidently proclaiming what unschooling is and trying to teach her massive audience about it. And as someone who has practiced this educational philosophy for a decade and a half, I've been pretty concerned about the way that she's misrepresenting what unschooling is. It gives unschooling a bad name to her massive audience and to all of her critics. But unschooling is not making your kids go vacuum out the car. It's not taking your kids to the grocery store and calling it good. She's misleading her audience about the commitment and connection that is required for unschooling kids.
So there's that. Even though she's pissed off a lot of people online, the only thing that she's actually really guilty of is just like pulling her kids out of school and then putting them back in, which isn't like the worst thing in the world because they were only not in school for like a matter of months. Like they probably missed like 1 semester if even. They're also a very well-off family, y'all. Like their kitchen looks bougie as hell and that actually looks like a nice SUV. This might make some people mad depending on like what your values are with school and whatnot, but I low-key feel like I have to place her only at a strong level 2 rage bait because at the end of the day, that's pretty much all this is. It's just like giving kind of fake rage bait. Our final family of the morning is the Collins family, who has 11 children. The Collins family is a Christian family of 11 and counting. People have asked Carissa Collins, the mom of 11, why she keeps having so many kids, to which she replies, famously, "I'll stop when God tells me it's time to stop." People really hate this, because with nearly a dozen kids, a lot of people are saying that there's no possible way that each one of those kids could get the amount of time and energy and attention and love that kids require to grow up in a healthy, happy household. I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, they have a big family, but honestly, they look like a really happy, loving household to me. So I can't really be a hater other than like, why are you having 11 kids? It's not like they're struggling. They seem to have a very large house. They seem to be very well off. So other obviously than the fact that they're obviously exploiting all of their kids, right? And it just seems like another like run-of-the-mill, stereotypically unethical family vlogging thing. Like, it doesn't really seem crazy. I don't know why people are hating on these people, but a couple months ago, she did get pregnant with what was supposed to be her 12th baby. I'm not sure how that is coming along. Let me just see if there's like an update on that. It seems that the Collins family are big on Facebook, which I didn't know people could be big on Facebook. I didn't know Facebook was still like that much of a thing. But so she posts a lot of her family updates on Facebook. So this person like took it, screenshotted it from her Facebook profile, and then posted it on TikTok.
She's been told there is no heartbeat, the pregnancy is not viable, yet she's decided to continue carrying, to continue waiting, and to continue filming. The post shows a group of her young kids poking, smacking, grabbing at her still protruding belly. The text over the video says, "Forget slime toys, just let them play with your flub." And then the caption she added says, "I'm still pregnant, just waiting to miscarry. In the meantime, I'm embracing the labs." Here's what I see. A woman who has had 15 pregnancies with no real break. Now walking through her 4th loss.
15 pregnancies and 4 miscarriages. Oh my God. Somebody commented, what if these miscarriages are a sign from God that you need to stop having kids? Oh my God. This is giving family cult. I'm scared. Now I see that there is potentially a very big problem with this situation. That's very scary. So somebody commented, as a nurse, that was one of my first deaths. A mom who refused to believe she needed to have a DNC for her dead fetus. It rotted inside of her. The mom ended up septic and died, leaving her husband and 3 children behind. Okay, I think I need to end the video right there. I'm gonna have to place the Collins family at a level 4, a generous what the fuck, because what the fuck. These are our results today of the ranking system. Comment below what you would have ranked them. Also, who would you have liked to see on here? Did I miss anyone? Who did I miss? In all seriousness though, these people are like doing some really, really bad things to their kids. These families are really harmful. I would suggest that you do whatever you can to not support them. So maybe just like go ahead and block them, or at the very least don't watch their videos. I mean, some of them anyway. Some of them aren't that bad, but like some of these families have some really serious issues, and truthfully, I really hope that they get the help that they need. I hope that they get the support that they need. Alright y'all, if you made it to the end of this video, comment your favorite heart emoji down below so I know y'all are OGs and made it all the way to the end. And leave recommendations for topics down below. What do y'all want to see next? If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and boop the like button. And like I said, don't forget to subscribe, be part of the community, support small channels like me, because I post new videos just like this one every Friday or Sunday morning. But that is enough from me, y'all. I'm disgusted and uncomfortable, so I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night, and I will see you in the next one.